Sharpshot21 here. Hi, it's been a little while. It is time for another book review, or series review, preview, teaser thing. Whatever we're calling these things, still not sure. It took me a little while, but I finally finished book 3 in the Arcane Ascension series by Andrew Rowe. And the Arcane Ascension series is kind of the first one that got me into his writing, but it is the second in his sets in this universe. Arcane Ascension follows the adventures of Corrin Cadence and his friends and family to some extent. It is a series that is quite a bit of high fantasy, though kind of in a not quite medieval setting, like almost Victorian era, I'd say. But it's all kind of, I mean, there's some tech, but a lot of it is magic based. So, yeah, there's steam engines and stuff, but a lot of what the general population uses is still horse-drawn carriages and that sort of thing, right up until, I mean, depending on which country they're in. Kind of, there's a setting. What are we doing, folks? Sorry. So it follows Corrin Cadence. It starts off with him entering what is known locally as a soaring spire. They're one of, according to mythology, 7-ish places where their goddess has built tests for people to earn what are called attunements. Now, I mentioned them in my previous 2 videos on this world. Let's go take a look at those. Each spire can give you one of, I think it's 6 different attunements. So each spire has sets of 6. Let's put it that way. Corrin's from kind of a noble family. His family's known for having one particular type of attunement. He's going in kind of hoping he gets it. Needless to say, that doesn't quite happen. He still gets one, just not the one he wants. And he gets tangled up in some fairly intricate and broad-reaching events while he's taking his judgment. So after the judgment, they go in through kind of him enrolling in the military academy, as is required for anyone who took a judgment. You have to be 17 to take one in his country. Kind of going through the ropes as to what all that is about. And then they kind of, events proceed from there. And that's book 1. Book 2 kind of picks up right after book 1. Book 1, he completes a rather significant favor for a rather significant person. Book 2 picks up right after that and starts to deal with some of the consequences of what has been going on and what he's tangled up in. They get through the end of the school year. Some rather large events happen at the winter ball that signifies kind of the end of the school year. They things start to jump on towards vacation. With the mission, but it's still supposed to be their winter vacation or summer vacation. I'm not sure. It's the winter vacation, but it's like the in-between the school years vacation. Doing so, they travel to a different country, and as part of that travel, that's where we get the first 2 books in Weapons and Wielders. Is Karis, who's another one of the characters in the Arcane Ascension series, tells us some of his origin story in Weapons and Wielders. If you've read the War of Broken Mirrors series, then we're already kind of familiar with Karis. He plays a fairly big role in books 1 and 2. In this series, not so much in 1, more so in 2. And then book 3, we don't really see him all that much. Because he's off doing his own thing. He accompanies them to the other country, but he's off doing his own thing. While they're on vacation, they run into one of their professors who's looking at taking the second judgment just because she feels kind of inadequate after the events of the Winter Ball. Which is really something considering who this professor is in terms of personages in the world. So it's not an insignificant thing that she's feeling like she doesn't have enough power. Or more, in her case, that she doesn't have enough ability. They catch her before she goes in for a judgment. They ask her to tag along while they climb the spire. They climb up a few floors, get what they were looking for, and bail out. Last we heard, that professor is climbing or taking a judgment. A couple more events with some potential ramifications happen afterwards, all of the somewhat magical variety, and we kind of get left with them just as they get back into their home country. So there's a lot of moving pieces in these books. They're not short books, but they are well worth the read. And it's done in such a way that the main character is telling the story of what's going on. So you're seeing pretty much everything from his perspective and with his difficulties. I think they're well-written pieces, and I definitely think if you're into the fantasy and magic and monsters type of things, it's worth the read. So far as I'm aware, there's really only humans and various types of monsters. We're not talking anything like elves or dwarves and whatnot. Well, I have other series for that, if that's kind of your thing. So I hope this kind of piqued your interest. I'll leave the covers here in a moment. And I hope you enjoy if you do give it a decide to read. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Sharks out.
Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. It really helps me out, and it lets you know when I put something new up. New videos will be going up on Tuesdays or Thursdays at 8 a.m. Eastern. And if I do decide to do live streams, I will try to give 24 hours notice So hit the subscribe button on the channel and you'll be notified when I post that stuff too. Hope to see you next time. Sharps out.